Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and today I have a tag video for you. This is called the book acquiring tag. I don't know if I've done this before, I might have done. I was tagged by Dane of Dane Reads or Dane Cabane. This tag was created by Enter the Book. I may have been tagged by other people, but I do not know. I do know that I've been tagged in other videos, but I have to go and search them out. I should write them down. Good idea. Anyway, this is all about book acquiring, book acquisition, so let's just get started. 1. Do you plan your book purchases ahead or impulse buy? It depends. It honestly depends. If I'm at work, the charity shop, and I see something that I've wanted to read for a while, then I might impulse buy that because books are relatively cheap at the charity shop. Indeed, sometimes I get to borrow them because I'll be taking them back, or because we do have an approval book. And sometimes I give it a think. I wonder, is this book going to be popular? But that might be another question. It varies. 2. How do you decide what books to buy? Similar to what I just said, if it's a charity shop and I know that it's been recommended by a lot of people and it's been quite popular and I've been waiting around for that book to come into the shop, then that's how I decide. Or sometimes, you know, you see something, it looks a bit interesting, you read the blurb and you think, I'll have a go at that. 3. What is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in-person, large versus small, physical, digital or audio, new versus used. I don't have a philosophy. Seriously, it's buying books. I know that ideally we would shop locally and independently. Sometimes that option isn't available to us. Indeed, I only have one bookshop in the town centre, which is a Waterstones. And people have an issue with retail chains, so otherwise it's going to used shops. What will happen with me is that I tend to go to charity shops for... Sorry, it's locked me out. I tend to go to charity shops for any books that are going to be popular, and I'll just wait around for them to come in, because chances are if you're buying a book new, then you're going to wait around to read it anyway, unless it's something that you absolutely must get to in that moment you've been waiting around for, such as I can be with Joanne Harris or Joanna Cannon. But if you know a book's going to be waiting around if on your shelves before you get to it, I don't mind waiting for it to come into the charity shop and having it used. Indeed, if a book is used, I'm more likely not to mind about it being damaged in some way because it's not going to cost so much. 4. What about little free libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? If I came across one, then I would use it. However, I haven't come across one, so I've not used it, but I have no problem with them. Also, you know, libraries in town, I might be more accustomed to going to a library, because UK libraries, when you borrow a book, actually a percentage of PLR goes to the author, so they're going to make money if you take a book out of the library. 5. How do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share like in a book haul or diary? It depends how guilty I want to feel, or if I want to show off. If I want to show off books, then I'll do a book haul or I'll share them on Instagram. If I feel like I found a bargain or something particularly fantastic, then I'll share it. Otherwise I keep it to myself. Especially all the books I get from a charity shop. Sometimes I'm getting that many that it just leaves me feeling guilty at the amount that I'm accumulating, and then I'll ultimately end up feeling like I've got too many on a haul load. So yeah, there we go. 6. How do you feel looking at your books that haven't been read? Does it matter if it's currently a lot or little amount? So years ago, and I'm talking nearly 6 years now, or even longer, I have had moments where I felt overwhelmed by the number of unread books on my shelves. However, sometimes this twists itself and I end up thinking, I don't mind that much because it's having a whole load of possibilities on my shelves. Now, I do unhaul regularly. You know, like if I read a thriller, I end up donating it to the charity shop. I tend to just buy thrillers from the charity shop because they're often one and done type books for me, and if I'm taking stuff to the shop anyway, I'll tend to go through my shelves and think, am I interested in this anymore? Am I still interested in rereading this one day? Because I only keep books on my shelves that I might reread in future. So what was the question? Yeah, I don't really mind whether it's a lot or a little, although I do have plans to do that video I talked about where I go and share all of my unread books again. And that might make me feel a certain type of way, but really that's also so that I can do some sort of inventory so I know how many books I've got to read, which I do think is in the hundreds again. Senan, how do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? I don't. I have a limited amount of space, so I just kind of go with, if the shelves are too full, then we can't really be getting any more. 8. Do you have a TBR game or a process for reading them? So I really do just pick up a book as and when on a whim. A few years back, I did have a TBR game, which was where I did the coordinated TBR, where I'd ask people to send me a number between 1 and however many books I had unread, and then I just count how many that would be and then pull that book off the shelf. And I would shout out the person's channel or whoever it was who chose that number. But I haven't done that since about 2019. 9. Do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it and can it be adjusted? I wouldn't call it a problem because I also have rent to pay and other assorted bills to pay. And so whereas a few years ago when I didn't budget correctly, I would just buy books whenever I felt like owning them because I felt like I was not spending as much as my peers might be spending going out at weekends and thinking, well, it's not as much as other people are spending. Nowadays I'm very much, well, how many hours work correlates to how much this book is going to be, and if I think that's too expensive for the experience that I'm going to get from reading that book, then I just don't get it, or I'll wait, or I save up, or I put it on a list of books to then ask somebody else to acquire for me. 10. Tag 2 or 3 others to ponder their book buying process. Emily of Novel Novels, Emma of Emma Rosen Books, Sophie of Redhead Reading, that's 3. 11. Know you are awesome just as you are. Being a book lover is amazing. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't call me awesome. But fine, if that's what you want me to think, then okay. I keep telling you that this is a villain origin story in the making, so calling a villain awesome just feels a bit weird, really, but I'll accept it. People want to compliment me and whatever. Well, that's that. I'm done. I'm out of here. My cup of tea's finished. I do have other tag videos to record. Will I ever get around to them? I don't know, because chances are I've forgotten them. But if you've tagged me in anything recently, let me know in the comments. Send me a reminder. Ta-ra, Chuck. I hope you got something out of this video. What's your book buying process? Let me know. Until next time. That is all.